It's the final business day of the week. Many thanks for joining us. This is Business Morning on Channels Television. I'm Chimize Obi Iwagu. Well, the recent move by the central bank to bar interest payment on bank deposits exceeding 2 billion naira has continued to get some reactions, this time from rating agency Moody's. In its commentary about this, Moody's says, and I quote, "The latest measure signals the central bank's intention to stimulate lending to the real economy. However, in our view, this directive is unlikely to force Nigerian banks to grow their lending aggressively. Already, banks were only remunerated up to 7.5 billion naira, and any amount above 7.5 billion naira was not remunerated. Assuming banks would lend out amounts above the new 2 billion naira placement ceiling, the additional lending will be only 5.5 billion naira per bank and will likely be less than 1% of total loans outstanding. In our view, the additional liquidity will likely move to the interbank market rather than lending. The amount is not a lot, so we don't expect it to significantly affect the bank's credit profiles. Nigerian banks' revenue is largely influenced by their interest income on their loans and advances, and treasury bills and bonds, and fee and commission income. Income from their deposits with the central bank in the standing deposit facility is negligible. Also, banks may still mitigate the loss of interest on the extra 5.5 billion naira by moving the extra liquidity to the interbank market, which may depress interbank interest rates and benefit net interbank borrowers somewhat." End of quote. Well, that was from Moody's. In the meantime, the governor of the central bank, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, is seeking the support of military and paramilitary organizations in reviving the nation's textile industry, which has remained moribund for over 3 decades. At a meeting with representatives of military and paramilitary organizations in Abuja, Mr. Emefiele explains that their support towards boosting the contribution of the sector to the nation's economy will be in the patronage of local textile manufacturers.
We have the mandate of Mr. President to ensure that all uniform services and theater wares in hospitals and medical facilities be sourced locally from the Nigerian cotton, textile, and garment sector. Already, the Bureau of Public Procurement has been notified to enforce compliance amongst the MDAs. Our model in achieving this presidential directive is to facilitate long-term contracts, at least 5 years or more, between yourselves, with our textiles and garment factories, to produce uniforms for our armed forces and uniform services using local fabrics and textile materials. We are not naive of the fact that the nature of your jobs will warrant special quality and security around the production of your wares. Our team will work with your nominees towards ensuring requisite quality and security associated with your uniforms.